In an unprecedented move, Jimmy and I are going to go live while our other show is still premiering because we got massive news.
You are Locked On Bama, your daily podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back into Locked On Bama. I hope this is working correctly. I don't know, but this episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Want to thank you every day for being here every day. Thank you, newbies, for being here today. And thanks to everybody for making it first listen every day. You guys are the best. I don't know if this is going to work. We're going live because Jimmy's got to go. But we have to talk about SEC releasing. Well, they hadn't released it. Chris Lowe broke it that Alabama and everybody else's permanent opponents are out there now, and massive win for Alabama. In fact, kudos to the SEC for doing this the right way for competitive balance. I put that thing in the wrong spot apparently. Let me do this. Let me see if this will work. Oh no, that doesn't work either. All right, so I'm gonna put it in another place. But now I got it all screwed up. So Alabama draws Auburn, which we knew, Tennessee, which we knew, and they also draw Mississippi State. That is a big time win for the Tide. Again, I'm not trying to sit here and make fun of Mississippi State or anything like that, but it could have been LSU, and that would be bad for both LSU and Alabama. Here are the permanent opponents now. Sorry, we can't make it any bigger than that. But Alabama draws Auburn, Tennessee, and State, which I think is a monster win. Going through some of these others, you can see them all there. The one that really sticks out like a sore thumb to me is Tennessee drawing Bama, Kentucky, and Vandy. Okay, but somebody was going to get a big positive, and it happened to be Tennessee.
Yeah, that's my own. The fact that Tennessee drew Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and Alabama is why I was so vocal, loud, and even maybe for some people obnoxious about why I didn't want Alabama to have LSU instead of Mississippi State. It's because of what Tennessee was likely to draw. It would have been, but it's not. It would have been patently unfair for Alabama to annually play Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU while Tennessee is playing Vanderbilt and Kentucky, and we're competing with Tennessee for a spot in the playoff. That is patently unfair. Thankfully, it didn't happen. So I'm pleased with this, although I think, like Luke said, it's impossible to do this completely fairly. Someone's walking away out of this a winner. Someone's walking away out of this a loser of some sort. To me, my loser here is Arkansas. They get Texas and LSU every single year, who are almost really good every single year. And they get Missouri, who's not always great. That's their break. But hey, when your break is Missouri, who I think you could go ahead and say Missouri is an annual playoff contender. I know they've never been in it, but Missouri's record over the past 3 to 5 years is almost as good as anybody's, not named Alabama or Georgia or Texas. That I think Arkansas's got it really tough, and I think Texas A&M's got it fairly tough with Texas, Missouri, and Texas and LSU. So A&M and Arkansas, to me, drew really tough schedules. Tennessee got the closest thing to a cakewalk, getting Vanderbilt and Kentucky. Because I'll say this, Kentucky had its moments under Stoops, but if you're looking like over a 25-year period, Tennessee may have the two, quote, worst teams in the SEC over like a 25-year period. Now, Vanderbilt's pretty good right now. No doubt. This is a new era too. I should be taking that into account. This is a new era. Everybody's pretty good. And year to year, you could be great, depending on if you hit home runs on the portal. But overall, I think the SEC did a really good job with this.
I think they did a fabulous job. This is exactly what needed to happen. I've already had one Auburn fan who's a friend of the program, actually, who's texted a group of us that all communicate and said, I think we both take this, meaning Alabama and Auburn. You look at In fact, I could argue Auburn got the worst of it, considering where Vandy is right now, and assuming
where Vandy is right now.
Yeah. Now Mississippi State undefeated, beat Arizona State, all those things. But let me tell you why this is so big. You look at the Big Ten and you look at how they've set their schedules up for success. Ohio State might play Penn State, but they won't play Oregon in the same year. Things like that. They try and set it up for the most success possible. And the SEC did that. And on top of that, Alabama and Mississippi State, as I've said multiple times, geographically are the two closest schools in all the SEC, and they should play each other. It's an easy road trip. It's fun for everybody, and there's a big-time, long-standing rivalry. And when Alabama's already playing an Auburn team on the come-up and a Tennessee that has come up and been in the playoffs here recently, it made no sense for Alabama. And what were you going to do, make LSU? Look, let's assume that if Alabama had gotten LSU, LSU what would they do? Replace them with Arkansas or something? And then you make Arkansas and Mississippi State play each other. That would have been patently unfair for LSU and for Alabama, because again, you got an Ole Miss team that's playing well. You got to Texas A&M that has as many resources as anybody. So I think everybody's schedule, with the glaring exception of Tennessee, and I'm not even mad about it because they had to play Vanderbilt. They had to. That's their in-state rival. Then you get Alabama. Okay, then what do you do? You had to. Somebody ended up getting Kentucky. Kentucky's probably the one team everybody would love. If I could play one team long term, it'd probably be Kentucky, even over Mississippi State and even over Vanderbilt right now. So
Tennessee's advantaged by this. But one thing I like about it is, hey, Alabama, you play Tennessee every year. You know how you can unadvantage them? Beat them.
Yeah.
You can beat Tennessee, thus taking away the fact that they're advantaged by this system. But I'm not upset about it. I would have been. And that's crazy to rant about something that didn't happen. Y'all are missing a rant. Had Alabama had been stuck with LSU and Tennessee had that schedule, I would be ranting pretty livid. Could even get fired sort of thing. Said a bad word the other day and talking about a salamander. I'd hate to hear what word I'd have come up with had that been the case, but it's not.
Let me tell everybody about the game cap. Look, love these game caps. Jimmy's got one. I've got one. I said it in the show. I hope you go back and watch the show if you hadn't. I will send this cap to somebody who comments in any of the podcasts recently and is a follower and will promise to get somebody else to subscribe. Then I will send them this cap. I'll pick one winner. I don't have a lot of caps. I got one cap. But quick question for all you college football fans out there. If you could go back in time and sit front row at your school's biggest rivalry game, what hat would you be wearing? Yes, I said hat. For me, it would be this puppy right here. The Game. These aren't just hats. They're the same vintage style hats worn back by fans in the 80s, 90s. And guess what? They still go for the same price they did back then. When you use code LOCKEDON, all one word, you get a vintage hat for $16.99. That's under $17, if my math is correct. Head to thegamecaps.com, thegamecaps.com. Grab your team's classic bar or retro circle design and use code LOCKEDON for an exclusive discount, because legends, you know what they do, Jimmy? They wear the game. I don't know why I did the little pausey thing there, but I did. So, Jimmy, looking at this again now, okay, so Alabama draws State, and they got Tennessee and Auburn. Now, what's going to be cool is Tuesday. Not only do we, that's when we were supposed to find out the permanent opponents, right? Was Tuesday. But we're going to find out the other teams we play. So we got 3. We got 6 to go. Who do you think is going to be on that list? Now, I think Texas is on that list because we hadn't played them. I think Ole Miss will be on that list because we hadn't played them.
Could be. At Texas, I think, is going to be a game that's on the list. And also, Luke made this point the other day, so credit where that's due. And I agree with the point that Luke initially made the other day that, hey, when you got 5, another thing we're going to be looking at every summer going forward and predicting a season is someone's going to have the advantage of 5 home games versus 4. So, half the league will play 5 home games. The other half of the league will play 4. That will rotate year to year. But I agree with Luke that Alabama's likely to be stuck with the 4 home games for next year, simply because Alabama's getting all of its non-conference games at home. So, 4 + 3 is 7, and that's enough. What you don't want is a year where you're playing a road game in your non-conference and you only have 4, and now you only have 6 home games. That would really hurt the Tuscaloosa economy that is so dependent on set at minimum of 7 home games. So I agree with Luke that we're likely to be stuck with the 4, which means 5 road games. And when one of those road games is Texas, who's going to be very good, by the way, for those reveling in Arch Manning's misery, imagine what Arch is going to look like next year with a full year under his belt and all these jitters gone.
You ain't giving up.
There I go again.
You're not giving up on Arch Manning.
Oh, I'm not even close to giving up on Arch Manning just yet. Not even close. But that's, regardless who the quarterback is. And how weird is it that Texas's backup quarterbacks are all Alabama guys? Matthew Caldwell, the backup, Auburn High School, the third guy that played the other day, KJ Lacey from Daphne. KJ Lacey's little brother, by the way, is a 9th grade DB at Daphne High School. That's pretty sporty looking. So Alabama is a winner in the schedule release so far. I would say Alabama's a winner. Tennessee's a winner. Arkansas, loser. A&M, loser.
Let me throw this out there real quick. I'm going to make a prediction for tomorrow night. I'll talk about it. I'll expand on it tomorrow in our show. I'm going to make a prediction. Alabama. Okay, so next year, I don't think there's any doubt we will be at Tennessee. Auburn will be at home because it's flip-flop this year. I'm going to make a prediction that we get Mississippi State. Actually, I don't know where Mississippi State's going to be, but I'm going to make a prediction that Kentucky will be one of our 6 other games, because otherwise, whatever else they do is going to be out of bounds difficult.
I think with your 3 permanents to make it work, doesn't annually 2 have to be at home and 1 on the road, and then the next year 2 are at home. So if Alabama gets Auburn at home
and Tennessee on
the road,
we don't know
the Mississippi State could go either way. I'm going to lean towards road just because you're looking at 5 road games.
I'm with you. I'm going to say Mississippi State on the road. I'm going to say Kentucky on the road. I'm going to say Tennessee on the road. I'm going to say Texas on the road. And then we got one more road game, and it could be anybody from Vandy to Florida to Ole Miss to A&M. It's going to be fun, man. Tuesday, I love this stuff, man. I love this. Is off-season stuff. It's fun.
Luke is a schedule guy.
I don't even like being at the games. I like talking about the schedules that's coming up. Baby.
You like the future. Luke's the future schedule guy. Give him a 2036 schedule.
All right, that's going to do it for this live special broadcast. Want to appreciate you guys tuning in. Go back and check the other one from today. Sorry we had to break in live, but this is such big news. I felt like we had to do it. So be sure to subscribe. Thank you guys, and roll tide.
Roll tide.